guys, here today for lawnfawn, and for today's project I have a last minute Valentine Day card to share with you all. I'm going to be using the Your Clawsome stamp set as my main focus, as well as the heart from Octopi My Heart and also the heart and the balloon image from Party Animal, and then I'm also using this little kid that's dressed up as a dinosaur from Costume Party to be a focal point on my card as well. So I'm going to be making a shaped card today, which I think is a super fun idea especially when you've got a large image that can be sort of shaped as a card. I think that's really fun. So my main focal image, or my shaped card image, is going to be this little claw machine from Your Clawsome, which I think is super fun. And basically I want to make it as Valentine's themed as possible. So I thought that it would be really fun to mask off all of the images inside of this claw machine and stamp hearts in there instead. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking some washi tape and I'm covering all of the teddy bears that are inside of the claw machine. So I'm making sure that I'm not taping off any of the lines that's making the claw machine, just the images on the inside. So I just covered that up with a ton of washi tape, making sure I cover up all of the images. Then I inked it up in some jet black ink, and then I'm removing the mask and stamping it down onto a piece of Nina Solo White cardstock. And as you can see, when I lift up, there is no images stamped in the center, which is exactly what I wanted. Then I just went ahead and stamped out some of the images that I needed from other stamp sets and things, and now I can ink up my hearts and stamp them inside of my claw machine. So I just used some post-it tape to mask off the outside of my machine here, or my stamped image, and then I stamped a ton of heart images from the Party Animal stamp set and also the Octopi My Heart stamp set, because there are two different sort of shapes of hearts. They look kind of similar, but they are different, and I wanted there to be a little bit of a difference, and they also are a little bit different in size as well. And basically I just stamped these down a ton on some masking paper as well, and then I'm going to create masks. So I cut them all out using my little teeny tiny cutter bee scissors and cut them all out, and then I can use them as masks. So now I'm just going to go ahead and stamp out some hearts inside of my little square here, and realistically, I shouldn't have stamped them overlapping the sides of the machine. I should have kept them whole, so when I remove the mask, I don't want any of the hearts cut off, but I sort of didn't think about it at the time and stamped them completely off the edge. So it's not completely realistic, I guess, because some of the hearts are cut in half and things, when I remove all the masks. But in the end, I think it looks really cute the way they're all layered up and sitting inside the machine. So I'm not too fast, and I don't think it's too noticeable at the end of the day. So it's all good. I really love how it turned out, but basically I just used those heart masks to cover up the hearts, so I can stamp the images behind them and layer them up so it's really nice and tall and none of them are overlapping. I think it looks really cool. So now it's time to Copic color in all of my images. So I've just already started here, and I'm first coloring in my dinosaur green with some Copic markers, my favorite greens of all time. Then I'm going to be colouring in the hearts inside of the machine, all different sort of pink colours. So I've got a much more reddy pink colour here that I'm first colouring in these heart images, and then I'm going in with a more bright pink that doesn't really have much a red tinge to it, and I'm going to be colouring in the rest of the heart images. So once I've gone ahead and finished colouring in all of those hearts, this is where I move on to the really light and bright pink colours, and I'm just colouring in the rest of the hearts. And when I was going through and figuring out which hearts I wanted each colour of pink, I sort of didn't want too much of the red hearts next to each other, so I decided to sort of spread those out a little bit more and have more of the light pink hearts. Then I'm just working on some yellow accents, so I'm colouring in the balloon yellow and then a few of the little knobs and things and bits on the claw with the yellow as well. And then I'm colouring in the spikes on the dinosaur costume with some teal sort of colours. I probably should have used more teal in the entire project, but I didn't. I sort of forgot about it but that's fine. And then I'm colouring in my main machine with some cool greys. So I really love using cool greys for like metal things, so like robots or machines or anything, and warm greys for like critters and things, even though sometimes like I use cool greys for other things, but especially for this claw machine I really wanted to use some cool greys. So I used some lighter cool greys for the main part of the machine and then some darker cool greys for that little accents and things on the machine. So like the legs and, you know, like the outside of things as well. And then I just used some favourite skin tone colours for the little kid's face in the dinosaur costume. Now I am using the coordinating dies to cut out all of my images, so I just went ahead and die cut them all out, and then also cut 2 more of the claw machine dies just out of some blank white paper, because that is going to be creating my card base for me. So now that all of my elements are all die cut, it's time to assemble. So I've just taken one of the blank white claw pieces here, or claw machine pieces, adding on some adhesive and then sticking on the coloured claw machine piece on top, and that's just because I didn't want any of the Copic colouring to be visible inside of the card, so I wanted to cover that up. And then this other white piece is going to be the piece that I scored to create my card base. So I've just pulled out my Martha Stewart scoring board, scored a little bit of the top of this piece just with my little scoring tool here. You can be however small or large you want it. I just did this because I knew my adhesive would fit along that strip. Then I just folded it back on itself to sort of create my score line, and then I'm going to add a little piece of adhesive at the top of that score piece, and then I'm going to line that up onto my claw machine, and that is going to create my little card. And I just think that looks super fun. It's such a small card, but I think it's perfect for like kids' Valentines, or you know, even your own Valentines, whatever you like. I just think it's a really fun design, and it's such a small project that doesn't take much time at all. Now it's time to stamp my sentiment, so I'm going to be stamping You're a Catch, but there is a ton of other sentiments in there that could be used for Valentine's themes as well, so I just went ahead and stamped that on the top section with some more jet black ink. And now it's time to adhere all of my images down. So I decided to use foam squares for this just because it was a lot more quick and easy. So I just popped up all of my images onto my card base here. So I adhered the little dinosaur holding one of the hearts and the balloon. Then I adhered the little claw piece with a heart inside on the top of the card as well. So that pretty much finishes up my entire card. It's a very mini card, but it is, as I said before, I think it's super cute. It's great for kids, but it's also great for your Valentines as well. For the last finishing touch though, I did add a little bit of Wink of Stella just over the hearts and the balloon, just to give it a little bit more interest since it is such a simple card. Also, another thing, you can also use this card design as tags if you like, and just add a little bit of twine at the top. I also think that would be really cute and fun to do. And also you can create this up to any theme you like. You can keep the little bears in the middle to make it sort of a little bit more quick and easy to create, and create like a birthday card or something. The possibilities are endless. So thank you so much for stopping by today. All of the supplies I use will be over at the blog, and I will catch you all next time. Thank you so much for watching.